जिसको हम कहते हैं कि सशक्त होकर के, मजबूत होकर के, पूरे कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ, so that there is a zero error of failure, and that is how the governments and militaries take decisions. If the Pakistan retaliates, the second strike has to be 5 to 10 times stronger than the first one. I would suggest to all the citizens, whosoever is watching, you see a suspicious movement, you see a suspicious object, you see a suspicious person, go to some government installation, government office and inform, then they will take care of it. Today the world is afraid of only two things. One is the terrorist acts, where anywhere in the world, जहाँ भी कोई आतंकवाद की घटना होती, तार आके पाकिस्तान से जुड़ती है. And second is, nobody wants nuclear weapons in the hands of irresponsible people. They had a minister called Sheikh Rashid. And he made a statement कि हमारे पास तो पाव के यानी कि 250 ग्राम के और आधे पाव के यानी कि 125 ग्राम के भी न्यूक्लियर बम हैं. एंड ही सेड वो ऐसी जगह गिराएंगे जहाँ सिर्फ हिंदुओं को मारेंगे, मुसलमानों को नहीं मारेंगे. एंड इफ दिस इज द लेवल ऑफ देयर IQ, फिर तो हम कम ही बोले तो ठीक है. जो भी कश्मीरी पाकिस्तान ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर में जाके वापस आया है, ही यूज्ड टू से टू थिंग्स. सब तौबा 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 तौबा, गुरबत गुरबत गुरबत.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching or listening to another edition of the ANI podcast with Smita Prakash. My guest today is General KJS Dhillon, former Chinar Corps commander and former Director General of the Defence Intelligence Agency. General Dhillon has appeared on the ANI podcast episode 11 and episode 81. We speak to him about the Pahalgam terror attack that took place on 22nd April. So thank you very much for coming on the podcast. I'm looking forward to our conversation. Unfortunately, it's under the shadow of the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack and the near conflict situation that we are in. I would, today, as we are recording this, there are drills which are going on, civil defense drills which are going on. And most Indians born in the 1970s or after that have never experienced this kind of situation, other than probably those who live along the international border or the LOC. They've never probably seen bunkers or seen these evacuation measures which are being done. It's making people jittery, nervous, especially those who have children in the forces. While you are prepared for any kind of eventuality, the thought that it's such a probability level is so high is making people nervous. So, you have such a vast era of vast experience having led the Chinar Corps and having done so many postings in Kashmir. Could you tell me a little bit about, or could you advise civilians as to how they should approach the next couple of weeks and months?
Good day to you, ma'am, and good day to all your viewers also. To start with, these civil defense drills, as you said, those who are born after 1970s and those who are not living close to the borders, I have done both. I am born pre-70s and I have lived along the borders. I have studied when 1971 war happened. I was in Amritsar, and then after that I did my schooling from Firozpur. The border areas in those days, these were the routine drills. Air raid sirens happening. In fact, when the first drill happened in Firozpur, I think a day before, and my class group from the same school in Firozpur, and they were talking about it the whole day. They said, we have done it, we have seen it, we are now telling our children it's a routine thing. So it's a very, very routine thing, and it's not that the bomb is going to fall on the house of the person who is staying next to the border. It is just a collateral damage which can happen. Suppose enemy targets a particular installation, military installation or civil installation, and for some reason the bomb or the projectile doesn't fall on that and falls somewhere 100 meters, 200 meters left or right or above or below. So for that reason, people are told to keep the lights switched off, so that identification of the target at night becomes difficult, and which platforms have those avionics or have the latest techniques of acquiring the target, for them it is different. But Pakistan's inventory is still not 100% state of the art. So it is in everyone's interest that citizens should keep the lights off at night whenever there is a air raid siren. And the blackout basically means you cover your window shields with some black paper or nothing else, the carbon paper, and draw your curtains. Even if you have the minimum light inside the room, it should not go out.
Okay.
And the evacuation drill which you talked about, ma'am, the evacuation drill is in case of war or in case of mobilization, and when the military armies or the army or air force installations are moving towards the border, the people staying in the close proximity of international border, they would be evacuating rearwards. The army units are moving forward, they are evacuating rearwards, and Punjab sector and Rajasthan sector, because of the rivers and canals, have limited crossing places on this obstacle system.
Okay.
So we don't want a situation where from this side the army unit is moving and from that side the civilians are coming and they bump into each other at the same crossing place or any other choke point.
Okay.
So that's why the evacuation drill for the civilians, rearward movement of the family, of the children, of the ladies is nominated. Okay, you are supposed to use, this village will use this track to come back to the main town. This village will use this track, and those tracks will not be used by the army.
Okay.
So there will be a separate tracks or the roads which will take the army into the forward areas, and separate roads or tracks which will take the civilians out of that border area into the safer places deep inside on territory.
So you are predicting or you are foreseeing like an Operation Parakram kind of a situation where there'll be mobilization of forces along the IB? Do you see that happening?
Ma'am, whatever happens, suppose there is no war, these drills are always good, at least people will understand their responsibilities, their duties. Suppose some sort of action happens and the mobilization does take place, then it will be so smooth that everything will be okay and nobody will get unnecessarily harmed. And in case there is a higher scale operations, I will not call it a war or a full-fledged war, higher scale operations, then of course even then these drills will help.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have done these drills as a child in Amritsar during 1971 and later on also as a school kid. It is very good way of keeping yourself out of harm's way. There is no need to panic.
Okay.
All these civil defense drills are preparatory drills. It's something like you are carrying out the drills how to survive if there is an earthquake. Now that doesn't mean there's going to be earthquake tomorrow. All civil defense volunteers and the home guards and even police and NCC, they all carry out these drills so that in case of an emergency, in case of a situation arising, we should be able to evacuate or survive without getting any damage done.
Also, it's एक तरफ तो NCC and civil defense people will be training others in the sense of they will be going to all these places, hospitals, schools, colleges, and showing them how to leave the buildings in case there is something. These kind of things will happen. What is the role of a common citizen? What should a parent do? In one of the episodes, you talked about your mother and how, I'll leave it to the audience. I've given the episode number. They can watch it themselves, where you describe, the role that your mother played of this fearsome lady who took on, to protect her husband.
Yes.
She did that. And you were brought up by your grandparents. Tell me about what is the role of a parent at this stage? How should they train their children not to be nervous, but to understand that we might be entering into a situation of conflict, and how they have to do their role as a parent, how they have to conduct their role as for their children's sake, for their community. What should they do?
Ma'am, actually speaking, it will happen the other way around. The children in schools will be trained and educated by the NCC staff, by the civil defense volunteers, by the home guards. And when the child from school comes home, I would request the parents to listen to the child
Okay.
as to what he's telling, what he has learnt in the school from the NCC officers and others. Because every child will go back home and teach 5 to 6 of his family members, his or her family members.
I see.
Because it will be very difficult to go home to home and educate everyone. Like you mentioned, schools, colleges, universities, hospitals, or any places where there is more
Congregation of large people.
community centers. And schools are the best place.
Okay.
And there is a system in place of NCC,
Huh.
which is a very well-disciplined system. There are uniformed people who run the NCC classes.
Okay.
So that system is generally used. That channel is then generally used to educate the students about these drills. The students then become the teachers for their family.
Okay.
So, but I would like to say one thing: there's nothing to panic here, ma'am.
Okay.
There's no panic here. And if any of the audience who are watching or the viewers, if they ever been to Israel, you would see in a day there are 3 times air raid sirens. And you're sitting in a mall, you're having a lunch or a dinner, and suddenly air raid silence. Everyone moves into a place of protection.
But they have bunkers.
They have bunkers. And in our case also, the areas which is especially of Jammu Kashmir, where the ceasefire violations or cross LC firing was a norm, there also the villages have bunkers, underground bunkers, where they know it fully well. Moment there is a warning, they rush into that bunker. However, in places, I'll say Pathankot downwards, there may not be bunkers who are nominated for this. But then the villages will be told how to, protect themselves and don't stay inside a particular type of a structure. And you can go into a different type of a structure.
But so the Pahalgam attack has showed that the vulnerability is not just on the towns and cities and villages on the borders or on the LOC. They've come hundreds of kilometers inwards. So the vulnerability is even in other cities and towns in mainland India or mainland Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan. So the dynamics have changed now.
Ma'am, thank you for asking this question. And through this podcast, I would like to request the citizens, not only of the border states, everywhere, to be vigilant. To be vigilant about anything left unattended. You see any suspicious movement, or you find any person who is lurking around your locality for last 2-3 days, he may well be carrying out the reconnaissance, and that unattended object or bag or anything, it may well be carrying some explosives. And if you see a suspicious person who has not been in this area earlier, it is a citizen's duty to inform the nearest security force or a nearest government official. Because as a citizen, we must do our duty towards saving ourselves, saving our families, and saving our neighborhood.
Right.
So this neighborhood vigilance, I would suggest to all the citizens, whosoever is watching, you see a suspicious moment, you see a suspicious object, you see a suspicious person, take his picture, inform the nearest police post or security force. If nothing else, go to the nearest post office if you don't have a police post. Go to some government installation, government office and inform, then they will take care of it.
You've headed the Defense Intelligence Agency, so it's very important for you to explain to our viewers why certain things which might seem normal, but there is a lurking danger in it. A person who you've seen for quite some time, suddenly you see that he's become quiet, he has locked himself in the room, he's refusing to come out, he's disappeared for a couple of weeks, days, and then returns and is not mixing and mingling. That could be signs of just normal depression or being on his own, but it could also mean that he has either self-radicalized or he has got training and come back. Signs that we should all be watching out for.
Ma'am, as a parent, we all keep our young children, teenage children, young adults under some sort of a, surveillance. Kahin drugs to nahi kar raha hai? Is he, having the right type of a company in his university, college or school? I hope he's not gone into a bad company. And ma'am, those signs, the way you narrated, the human behavioral changes are best understood by a mother. Because mother बिना टच किए बता सकती है कि बच्चे को तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. Because there is some connect.
Ji.
So I would request all the parents, all the brothers, sisters, family members, especially mothers, to keep an eye on our young children, especially between the age of 15 to 30. Because that is a vulnerable section of the society. And radicalization is one, peer pressure is another, blackmailing is third. There may be different means the enemy will apply to get a youngster to do something which is illegal, unlawful, and against the society. So these telltale signs of the behavior change must be looked after by every parent, every adult in the family. And siblings are the best people to give indication.
और जब पता लगे कि ऐसे कोई चेंज हो रहा है इन योर सिबलिंग, इन योर चाइल्ड, क्वेश्चन एंड देन सीक हेल्प, है ना?
Absolutely, ma'am. Counseling, medical help, and if you get something like, suppose you see these changes and then you search his room or her room or whatever, and you find some material, indiscriminating material, then you must inform the nearest, official.
For his or her good.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, if you will walk into a police station to say this is what's happening, it is for his or her good.
क्योंकि अगर वो इतना रेडिकलाइज हो जाएगा तो कभी ना कभी तो बंदूक उठाएगा, कभी ना कभी तो वो सुइसाइड बॉम्बर बनेगा, कुछ भी उठाएगा. ही विल पिक अप एन एक्सप्लोजिव एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम एंड बी मैनिपुलेटेड. उस लेवल तक आने से पहले ही हम देख लें, जांच लें और पहले ही सीक हेल्प, है ना?
Ma'am, Operation Ma in Kashmir
हाँ.
is a live example of a thing like this, where young children have picked up the weapon, joined a terrorist organization. The parents have come to us. The mother name is Operation Ma, but parents, sisters, brothers, friends, headmasters, teachers, the village heads, the opinion makers, the elders, they have come to us and said कि this बच्चे को वापस लाना है. And the child has come back, and there is no case made against him, and he is living happily with his family now. Similarly, if something has come to the notice of the parents or the teachers or the professors, to go and tell the official agencies voluntarily is in the favor of the child.
जी.
Because tomorrow, God forbid, he does something or gets involved in something, and then his life is ruined.
Yeah.
So these are preventive measures.
जी. The other thing is, it's not just the men. Because of which something which has happened recently, which we didn't even realize, is when the government brought out this notification that people have to leave, of those who have Pakistani passports, you have to leave. Those who are on visas. तब जब अटारी पे when we saw so many people leaving, तब पता लगा कि इतने सारे लोग थे और अपने बच्चियों की शादियां वहां पे करवाई हैं. Now that country sees you as दुश्मन मुल्क. People living here in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, forget Kashmir. I understand in Kashmir they think that POK हमारा ही हिस्सा है,
Yes.
हम भी उनके हिस्से हैं, whatever they might think, and that's a different dynamics. लेकिन जब पंजाब 1947 में अलग हो गए हैं, even if you have रिश्तेदार out here, क्यों अपनी बच्चियों को आप शादी करके वहाँ पे भेज रहे हैं?
Exactly the point. Some may be genuine, like people marry all over the world in all the nationalities. But then if you marry a nationality, say you marry a American or you marry a French girl, then either she joins you here and she changes the nationality to Indian. She starts staying here. Now here the nationality is there. यहाँ पे आधार कार्ड बने हुए हैं, पूरे राशन कार्ड बने हुए हैं, all the benefits of the government schemes is being taken.
Yeah.
But the nationality has not been dropped.
पर हमारी भी तो गलती है कि ये
Yes, ma'am.
लॉन्ग टर्म वीजा क्या होता है? What is long term visa of a Pakistani passport holder for 16, 17, 20, 30, 40 years? ये कैसे हो गया?
Ma'am, that is exactly the problem.
बहुत बड़ी
Our
गलती है.
systems need overhauling. Our systems need relook.
Yeah.
How can you have a child coming here, getting educated here, picking up a job here, having a Aadhaar card, having a voter card? One example I saw somewhere, he was even wanting to contest elections. No, there has to be some system in the madness also.
Yeah.
And if now we can identify all these people,
जी.
why couldn't we do it earlier?
So
And
this is
for decades it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. मतलब अगर एक या दो होते तो hundreds of people are going.
Yes.
और अभी तो हमने बांग्लादेश का भी सोचा भी नहीं है.
Yes, ma'am.
That is another
That's
can of
much
worms.
much bigger problem.
अब अगर वो करने लगेंगे तो that's we are looking at a different sphere altogether. And now I'm also noticing that ये पाकिस्तानी Twitter handles जो बंद हुए हैं, X handles बंद हुए हैं, they are now using Bangladeshi proxies
Yes, ma'am.
to do cyber. Now, you worked in the Defense Intelligence Agency. You know that information warfare कितनी बड़ी चीज़ है. Please explain to me how this information warfare happens by our enemy. And I'm openly saying our enemy now.
Ma'am, I'll tell you, while I landed at the airport, I got a message from somewhere that Dawn, Pakistan, so-and-so date, this is a news which has been published. Now, my request to everyone who gets a forward like this on a WhatsApp or on a Twitter or whatever, please go down to your Google and search for that particular newspaper of that particular date. They are all available online. And if that news is there in that newspaper, then that's a genuine news. If it is not there, then it's a fake news. And you must, before you forward that thing, don't become part of the problem. Before you forward anything on the social media, please be responsible enough to carry out a recheck. Because it is your bounden duty to be very clear if you're sending something, it is genuine and it is correct. Because I got a message today, and when I confronted that person, I said, ये fake है. He said, sir, फौजी ने भेजा था, तो इसलिए मैंने सोचा सही होगा.
Yeah.
Now, my request to all those Fojis also.
Yeah.
A Foji is also equally a citizen.
Yeah.
So, you are adding value to that, fake news.
Yeah.
Just because you are a Foji or you are a policeman or you are a IFS officer or you are a government servant or you are a journalist, that adds validity to that fake news. So, please be responsible enough and do not
Right.
push it forward without rechecking.
So also जो troop movement होती है, whether it is combing operations or whatever, हम लोगों पे, which is traditional media, हम पे कुछ rules हैं that we cannot cover it live first. Two, we can only cover it after permission. And the officer who's conducting the search operation, वो मीडिया को लेके जाता है, एक जोन से कवर होता है जो कभी लाइव नहीं जाता. There are standard operating procedures about how we operate. We cannot do anything and we do not do anything because those we can get into trouble. Our licenses can go. So many people on social media don't realize that. क्यों दिखा रहे हो? क्या जरूरत है दिखाने की? भाई ये फौज हमको वहाँ पे ले जाता है. Conducted है ये. हमको ले जाता है हमको दिखाने के लिए कि हम ये काम कर रहे हैं. It also dissuades people from hiding, from doing things because and the local population knows कि हाँ यहाँ फौज है. For हमारे हिफाजत के लिए फौज यहाँ आ चुकी है. Combing operations चल रहे हैं. We are going to be safe. That's also necessary. So when traditional media does it, ये हम पर लागू होता है और हम responsibly conduct करते हैं. सोशल मीडिया पर नाउ बिकॉज एवरीबडी इज अ सिटीजन जर्नलिस्ट, सबके पास फोन है, सो टेकिंग दोज वीडियोज ऑफ फोर्स मोबिलाइजेशन उन पे कुछ नहीं लागू होता. दे कैन पोस्ट एनीथिंग ऑन एक्स, ऑन इंस्टाग्राम एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. उनके लिए क्या मैसेज देंगे आप?
I answer it in two parts. Second part first, that you said when the forces are moving or the convoys are moving, anyone can make a video or take a selfie or give a location. They're moving from place A to place B. I had tweeted about it a few days ago. Okay, please be responsible enough. Do not take selfies or do not make reels of any troop movement. And ma'am, for the benefit of the audience, that tweet of mine has got more than 1.5 million views. And everyone, without exception, in the comment section has said, sir, we understand, and we will pass it on to others also. So if you educate your public properly, they will listen. And there is a need for all the people with greater reach. Instead of fighting on the Twitter, it's better to do some sensible tweets so that the public benefits from it, and the national security also benefits from it. Because it's very important, because that young boy, ma'am, of 15 years of age or 16 years, he's too excited to see so many army vehicles. And he doesn't even know that he's doing something wrong. Unless he's told कि बेटा ये गलत है, ये नहीं दिखाना है, देश हित के खिलाफ है. Then only he will understand.
जी.
And there I think responsibility is of everyone, not only the government, but including the government. Every citizen has to be alert enough and educate whomsoever he or she can.
School teacher, principal, college principals.
Everyone, ma'am, opinion makers, the elders, sarpanch, panches. Even if there is a place where there is a coach who is coaching about cricket, even he should be telling the students, because उसकी सुनते हैं मैम. अगर उसको क्रिकेट की शॉट कैसे मारनी वो सुनते हैं तो ये भी सुनेंगे.
Anybody in a leadership position.
Anybody in a leadership position, anybody who has some audience under him or her must do this duty as a noble cause. And ma'am, coming to the first part of your question,
जी
where you said the media is taken to the place of operations and media is guided and then media records and then in a staggered in time and space, media will play it out.
जी
Ma'am, this was a very, conscious decision because when the media opened up, a lot of internet things came up and then if the security forces did not tell what they're doing, people would make assumptions. And if I can put it bluntly, उसने शाम को 8 बजे breaking news चलानी है, with or without your inputs.
करेक्ट
And ma'am, if that person, whosoever the journalist is, if he says, army is carrying out an operation in so and so area, we tried to contact them, they did not respond, or we tried to contact them, they refused to answer, and we tried to reach there, they stopped us from going there. Ma'am, all these things are showing that there's something we are trying to hide. And what that gentleman or the lady in the newsroom is saying, she's right or he's right. कि they tried to contact you, आपने उनकी बात सुनी नहीं, उन्होंने आपको फ़ोन किया, आपने उसको मना कर दिया, उन्होंने जाने की कोशिश की, आपने जाने नहीं दिया.
जी
You are right in your own way, but he or she is right in your own way, but look at the opinion which is being formed. Opinion being formed is कुछ ना कुछ तो गलत कर रहे हैं, सबको दिखाना नहीं चाहते ये. So from the transparency point of view, so that whatever the security forces are doing, it is transparent enough, but at the same time, we are not losing out on the secrecy of operations.
राइट
So that decision was taken, and that's how at places where journalists are not in danger, that I'm saying physical danger of crossfire or collateral damage, that place definitely, and if you tell the journalist, they are responsible enough to understand that stagger करना है and time and space दोनों में.
So, 2 हफ्ते हो चुके हैं since the strike happened. In the first week, it was like, the iron is hot, abhi karna chahiye, strike immediately. The channels were also baying for blood that jab tak revenge nahi hoga. And we heard the politicians also understanding the mood of the nation said that, revenge will be taken, and everybody was upset. And calming people down would not have worked at that stage. It was, they sensed the mood and they said, yes, revenge will be taken, but, it will be served cold. Time and place will be our choosing. But people are also getting restless. 14 दिन हो चुके हैं, अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ. ये नॉन काइनेटिक क्या होता है, पानी बंद कैसे कर रहे हैं, नलका थोड़ी ना है कि पानी बंद कर लेते हैं. These are the kind of comments that are coming. So could you explain क्यों 14 दिन तक कुछ नहीं हुआ? क्या ये 14 महीने भी चल सकता है wait and watch game?
Ma'am, if you go back to 2016 Uri encounter or Uri attack, we went in with the surgical strikes by the army within 10 days. Go back to Pulwama. I was the corps commander. You have covered that extensively. You are there in Kashmir. And Pulwama was within 12 days, the Air Force went in to Balakot. Ma'am, that was a single service. When I say service, Army, Navy, Air Force, that was single service operation. Second one, Air Force, single service operation. So coordination required was very less. Here, this time, the government probably has taken a decision that enough is enough. Striking some terrorist camp here or there is not going to help. This time we are going to strike at the terror factory. That is the Pakistan military and ISI and the installation. And this time it's not going to be a single service or multiple service military option alone. This time it has to be a comprehensive national power to be applied on the enemy. And for the comprehensive national power, all arms of the government, military, political, diplomatic, economic, and some we don't even talk about, all those in conjunction, either in coordination and conjunction and synergized manner, time and space can stagger. Like diplomatic initiative of Indus Water Treaty, scaling down the embassy, calling back the defense attaches, the visa restrictions as you just mentioned in the first question. Now all that has already happened.
Okay.
That means there is a time stagger now.
Ji.
Now next, you never know what's going to come next and at which place. So time and space staggered manner, all components of the army will be applied against the enemy so that he learns a lesson and there is a, you can say, meaningful action. And coming to the point of abhi kyun late kyun ho rahe hain, why? Ma'am, governments and militaries, because there is a responsibility on the shoulder of the government and the military commanders. they do not take any decision in a haste. Government and militaries do not take a decision with the feeling of taking revenge. Governments and militaries take a decision after incident like this, they become more resolute. And जिसको हम कहते हैं कि सशक्त होकर के, मजबूत होकर के, पूरे कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ, so that there is a zero error of failure. And that is how the governments and militaries take decision. Whether you call it revenge is best served cold or whatever, but it would be delivered at the time and place of India's choosing. As also when we are fully coordinated, fully prepared. And here I would like to put one more thing. It's not only preparation for the first strike. I don't know whether the question will come about the nuclear thing or the escalation ladder.
Yeah.
It's not the question of striking the first strike. Then if the Pakistan retaliates, the second strike has to be 5 to 10 times stronger than the first one.
Okay.
So that
What happened in the earlier wars, sir? First strike हमारा होता है?
like earlier what the surgical strikes in Uri.
No, I'm talking about 71, 65. All these were.
Ma'am, those were actual wars. Like 71 war, we decided when we'll go in. At that time, Field Marshal Manekshaw was told in the month of April
Yeah.
to go in for liberation of Bangladesh. But he, in his wisdom, said that we'll go in during winters, and there are reasons for it. After April, the monsoons come in that area, and that Bangladesh terrain is all riverine. So when the monsoons come in, the rivers get flooded. Those days, very few tanks were amphibious because they could float across the river. And in the monsoons, the cloud cover is there completely. And the Air Force did not have the type of systems to pierce through the cloud and do the precision shooting. Mostly bombing was visual. Someone from the ground used to indicate with a laser beam. That laser would be picked up and then the bomb would be, or some sort of, or he would give a message. So going in Bangladesh during April, May, June would have been counterproductive.
East Pakistan at that
East Pakistan at that time. And if you look at it now, they went in December and 13 days the game was over.
time. Was over. Correct.
So that does not mean that they kept waiting, or they didn't do anything. They tried, they did everything, they coordinated everything, they built up their reserves, they built up everything, and Army, Navy, Air Force, complete coordination. The world opinion. I mean, this diplomatic efforts are must. I said it's a whole of nation approach, whole of government approach.
Right.
The diplomatic efforts are a must because we do not want to go in for 2.5 front war.
Yes.
We do not want to go in like that time when American 7th Fleet came.
Seventh Fleet. Yes.
The Russians came in from this side.
Yeah.
So that was the diplomatic efforts which had gone in. This time also,
Yeah.
once the diplomacy or the MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, gives the nod, that we have taken control of the diplomatic opinion or the world opinion, and now we have got this much of window, now we can go in.
So when we talk about first strike, or everybody says that ये जो non-kinetic step on the water issue that we have taken, India is calling it non-kinetic. We haven't declared war, but Pakistan says it's an act of war.
I mean, this, if I may take some time,
Ji.
it's a very considered decision. It's not a non-kinetic war. If you look at Indus Water Treaty or Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, and then Ravi, Beas and Satluj. The 6 rivers, the bottom 3 are with us and the top 3 are with Pakistan. And for the benefit of the viewers again, the grain of the country or the slope of the earth, or जिसको हम कहते हैं ढलान जमीन की, in this part of the world is from northeast to southwest. That means a river which starts from Ladakh ends up in Arabian Sea in the western part of Sindh. And this flows like this. And when lower 3 rivers are with us, the water has stopped. And these lower 3 rivers were feeding Pakistani Punjab and Indian Punjab. And now that Pakistani Punjab, the lower portion or the western portion, does not get water from the 3 rivers which are with India, what they've done is they're taking water from Chenab, which is the bottommost river of the upper 3. There's a Marala headwork. Immediately as Chenab enters Pakistan, they made a big dam called Marala Headworks. From Marala, they have taken out a canal and linked it with Ravi bed. It's called Marala Ravi Link Canal. That means Chenab's water is now put into Ravi. And then further downstream, there's a place called Bambanwala. From Bamban, and the Ravi flows north of or west of Lahore. And then from Bambanwala, they taken out another canal, and that canal goes below the Ravi River as a Ravi siphon, and then feeds areas east of Lahore. And it is called Bambanwala Ravi Siphon Bediya Link Canal. So now the complete Punjab is getting greenery or getting water for agriculture and other purposes from Chenab River, and there's another link canal which feeds the area of Kasur. Now if Chenab does not get water, now you imagine what will happen in Pakistani Punjab. And in Pakistani Punjab, Pakistani Punjabi Musliman dominates the complete Pakistan. Again, now one more thing, ma'am. There is where Punjab, Pakistani Punjab, the southern edge and the northern edge of northern border of Sindh province, where they meet, there is a desert called Cholistan Desert, and there is a Green Park initiative. Actually, it is not a Green Park initiative; it is Green Punjab initiative.
It's only for Punjab.
It's only for Punjab.
The canals.
It is Asim Munir's baby or idea to take water from Indus River and their number of canals and bring them into Cholistan Desert and make Cholistan Desert green. And people of Sindh, जिनका नाम ही सिंध रिवर के ऊपर पड़ा है, the Indus River
deplete them of
water, and there's a big standoff going in between Sindhis and Punjabis. The lakhs of trucks which are lined up on that N5 and 6, the two arteries of Pakistan which come from northeast to southwest, either side of Indus. So there is a big jam out there, and now these are internal fault lines. I talked about Pakistani Punjab getting water from Chenab. I talked about Cholistan Desert. We all know what's happening in Gilgit-Baltistan. There is uprising there. What's happening in POK. Afghanistan border, Pakistan military is stretched. Then in KPK area, Pashtuns are up in arms, and Balochistan, the BLA freedom fighters, we all are aware. And come to Sindh, this problem happening. Now when internally they are imploding, this water treaty, which we have now said that we will control the water, is going to add to all these things. And talking about the enemy, when the patient is recovering on his own, then why should you do anything? Pakistan is imploding on its own by the small little act of just calibrating the Indus water. And Indus water treaty also, ma'am, if I can take a little time on this. You know, we have dams within our country, and there is a limited amount of holding capacity. After that, we have to release water. And unless we make infrastructure where we can divert this water from the upper three rivers into lower three rivers, and then further down our canals and feed the water into our Jammu Kashmir, our Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Western UP and Rajasthan. Till that infrastructure takes place, we will now calibrate the water flow into Pakistan. Now what does that mean? This means earlier we were duty bound or owner bound as per the treaty to give them the data. Normally it's called data sharing. Data sharing is that now we will release so much water tomorrow, we will release so much water day after, and there is a fixed amount of water which you have to release anyway. So when Pakistan gets the data or information in advance, they cater for it. कि इतना पानी आने वाला उसको जहाँ पे रखेंगे, इतना इधर डाइवर्ट कर देंगे, इतना इधर ले जाएंगे. Now we will not share the data. Now we will hold the water, and suddenly after a few days we will release in one go. The water which was to go over 7 days in a calibrated manner could have been distributed to all the places where it is required. Now 6 days that canal or river is dry, and 7th day a gush of water comes. How much can you tap? You can tap 10%, 50%, 20%. Balance would go into the Arabian Sea. So this is how, if Chenab water especially, if Chenab water can be calibrated and diverted, I can guarantee Pakistani Punjab will be desert in next 50 years.
And what about the Kharif crop? That?
Yes, ma'am. Kharif crop, again, I have tweeted this. A lot of people ask me, what is Kharif crop? Kharif crop and Rabi crop, basically the seasons, starting now till about November, whichever crop is sown during this season is called Kharif crop. They are basically water demand heavy crops, like rice. And whatever is sown from November onwards till about April, like wheat, Rabi crops, they are water less demanding on water. And now that water demand by Kharif crops is going to be more, and now is the time we are not giving water. And that is where it will hurt. And Pakistan is an agrarian society. And if the Pakistan agrarian society suffers because of lack of water, because their Hukmran have not given up the policy of state-sponsored terrorism in India, then they will question them.
Will they? That's what I want to know. Will they come up in arms and say कि जैसे पहले कहते हैं ना कि ये जो दहशतगर्दी है इसके पीछे वर्दी है और ये वर्दी ने उनको इतनी बारी they have done this and people had got sick and tired. There are reports that people had stopped saluting.
Yes.
You know, जब कोई वर्दी में आता है, that is the worst thing that can happen, where a civilian has no respect, and that was unheard of in Pakistan. उनके लिए अल्लाह के बाद आर्मी है,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So
बीच में कहीं कहीं अमेरिका आता है.
अमेरिका आ जाता है और वो भी बंद हो गया फिर उसके बाद. They're trying to replace it with China.
Yes, sir.
But you know, if there was this thing that you know, Imran Khan was the most popular leader, उसको जेल में डाल दिया. The existing political leadership is so weak. So people are sick and tired of the फौज कि तुम कुछ भी नहीं कर पा रहे हो. अब ऐसे हालात में आसिम मुनीर comes up with this पहलगाम incident. Is it uniting everybody against, in favor of the army? So will the Pakistani farmer be up in arms against the Fauj?
Ma'am, historically, whenever there is a problem or internal problem in Pakistan, which today are, I think, the most deep, economy is in doldrums. Pakistani rupee vis-a-vis dollars, petrol, diesel prices, sugar, rice, wheat, dal, their prices. Their politics, lesser said the better. Anyone who is removed from the Prime Minister's chair, I'm using the word removed,
Removed.
either goes to the jail or goes abroad. And their diplomacy. When 370 was abrogated, other than one or two countries, no country stood with Pakistan.
Yeah.
That is the level of their diplomacy. And military, lesser said the better. And वो सीधी सी बात है. Why the world is not standing with them? One is they are a terrorist state. The second is we are 1/6 of the world in population. When I say 1/6 of the world, we are 1/6 of the market. कोई देश अगर सुई भी बनाता है ना, तो उसको बेचने के लिए हिंदुस्तान में आना पड़ेगा. We are providing that market. Secondly, we are the 5th largest economy.
So we have the buying power.
We have the buying power, and we are going to be the 3rd largest economy. Anyone who aligns with India is definitely going to be beneficial.
Rather than this terrorist state.
And otherwise, if they align with Pakistan तो बोलेगा अच्छा मैं आएगा मेरे को कुछ दे दो. वो अपना बाउल लेके आ जाएगा.
कटोरा लेके
आ जाएगा. तो these are the things which, and then today the world is afraid of only two things. One is the terrorist acts. Where anywhere in the world, जहाँ भी कोई आतंकवाद की घटना होती, तार आके पाकिस्तान से जुड़ते हैं. And second is, nobody wants nuclear weapons in the hands of irresponsible people.
Okay.
And today in Pakistan, you never know what will happen tomorrow. मैम, जब तक पिछले 75 years तक पाकिस्तान की आर्मी ने जो झूठ बोल करके, they even told a lie कि 1971 की लड़ाई हम जीत गए. Whereas those days, there was no internet, there was no Google, so people could not, clarify or identify. So they accepted it.
Front page news था
Front
वो.
page news था मैं. And then today, when everyone has an access to internet and he is aware क्या हो रहा दुनिया में, और मैम जो up in arms वाली बात है ना, जो आपने बोला ये जो दहशतगर्दी है, इसके पीछे वर्दी है. We had a video coming out from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa where local police is questioning the military. And that chap is saying तेरे जनरल को हम अपने जूते की टो पे रखते हैं. This had never happened in Pakistan. और जब मैम बच्चे भूखे मरते हैं ना, चाहे वो किसान है, चाहे वो गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट है, चाहे वो कॉमन सिटीजन है, कोई भी है, जब उसके घर रोटी नहीं पकेगी, जब उसके खेत में फसल नहीं उगेगी, जब शाहूकार का कर्जा वापस नहीं दिया जाएगा, और जब बच्चे भूखे मरेंगे ना, then he has no other option but to raise his voice.
And the Punjabi farmer that I'm talking about, एक और नारा होता था पंजाब में, and that was for Nawaz Sharif. But now I'm seeing that they are saying it to each other. That nara was जाग पंजाबी जाग तेरे पग नू लगी आग. Right? They used to say that about Nawaz Sharif. But now, and they used to call him, anyway, I won't say this now. There was a term used for him. They used to call him Ganja Lohar.
Yes, ma'am.
That was also used for him. But now is the time for that Punjabi farmer to understand that अगर घर पे आटा नहीं है और तुम पैडी सोइंग नहीं कर सकते और बाद में यू वोंट इवन बी एबल टू कम अप विद योर व्हीट क्रॉप, यू डोंट हैव फूड सिक्योरिटी, अनाज की मंडियां नहीं है जहाँ पे स्टोरेज है, व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू डू? There's going to be no, a shipload of wheat coming from America. That's not going to happen. You're going to become one of those ship to mouth situations जो गुर्बत वाली countries में होती थी. What are you reducing yourself to? Where is that आन बान शान of the Punjabi? What is going to happen?
Ma'am, then that shipload of wheat coming also would cost money. Today they're down to 4 to 6 billion of foreign reserve. Now it's hardly anything, and suppose there is a war tomorrow, there is some sort of an action. No country is going to keep their offices open in Pakistan. So all the channels of things coming and going would also.
But it's a food aid. Imagine food aid coming.
Ma'am, nothing comes for free.
कितनी शर्मनाक बात है पर.
आप मैम वो देश हो, मतलब कि जो आप सोचते हो कि मैं दूसरे को पालूं, मैं अपनी तरफ से अपने जो कमाई में से कुछ हिस्सा दे करके आई शुड डू समथिंग फॉर अदर्स. और यहाँ पर हालत यह है कि आपके हुक्मरानों ने आपको उस कगार पे लाके खड़ा कर दिया है कि आपके पास मांगने के अलावा अभी और कोई चारा नहीं रह गया.
What a shame.
What a fall of pride.
Yeah.
वो जो है ना, जाग पंजाबी जाग तेरी पग नू लगी आग, that where is that pug now?
Yeah.
Where is that Punjabiyat? Because ma'am, Punjabi Pakistani Musliman is not liked in Pakistan other than the Punjab proper. Everyone else, चाहे वो बाल्टी है, चाहे वो कश्मीरी है, चाहे वो पश्तून है, चाहे वो सिंधी है, चाहे वो बलूच है. Nobody likes a Pakistani Punjabi because they are dominating the Pakistani military, and in turn they are dominating the Punjab, complete Pakistan.
Yeah. They've even gone and occupied the Kashmir, which is in their control.
Yes, ma'am. Today, if you good
मीरपुरी है सारे.
मैम, आज अगर आप कश्मीर में जाओ, जो इंडिया श्रीनगर वैली, कश्मीर वैली है,
They speak Punjabi there.
या नहीं, वही मैं पॉइंट आई वाज कमिंग टू. अपने कश्मीर में everyone speaks Kashmiri.
Yeah.
In addition, the younger generation
Speak
may be
Urdu.
speaking English or Urdu or Hindi or Dogri or whatever, but everyone speaks Punjabi, and in their families and their houses with the grandparents they speak Kashmiri.
कश्मीरी, हाँ.
कश्मीरी. तो मैम, जिस भी सोसाइटी को आपने ख़त्म करना है ना, उसकी भाषा को ख़त्म कर दो. Why did the Bengalis came up in arms against the Punjabi Musliman? Because their language was being threatened.
Imposition of Urdu.
Imposition of Urdu on them was, so that's why the World Language Day.
Yeah.
The World Language Day is the day
Bengali.
when Bengalis were protesting against the imposition of Urdu.
And in POK, they have imposed.
हम all Mirpuris and all. In POK, जो लोग वहाँ पे आते हैं ना, परमिट के ऊपर इधर आते थे, हमारे वहाँ जाते थे. तो बीइंग अ मिलिट्री मैन, मैं जब यंगस्टर था, जब मेजर था, जब कर्नल था, जब ब्रिगेडियर था, जब भी पूछना, जो भी कश्मीरी पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर में जाके वापस आया है, ही यूज्ड टू से टू थिंग्स. सब तौबा 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 तौबा, गुर्बत गुर्बत गुर्बत. दैट वाज वन. एंड सेकंड ही वुड से, सब क्या करें, वहाँ तो सब पंजाबी बोलते हैं. कहते हैं जो कश्मीरी, जो लाइक ऑल पीपल ऑफ कश्मीर हु कांट स्पीक एनी लैंग्वेज अदर देन द लोकल कश्मीरी, दे वुड कम बैक एंड से, साहब वहाँ तो किसी से बात ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, बिकॉज एवरी थिंग हैज पंजाबी. एंड मैम, नाउ अनदर थिंग विच इज हैपनिंग नाउ इज इन द गिलगिट बाल्टिस्तान, द नदर्न पोर्शन, वेयर द CPEC इज कमिंग थ्रू, ऑल अलॉन्ग द CPEC, द स्कूल्स, बिकॉज जो ट्रक ड्राइवर्स आते हैं, चाइनीज वाइनीज, तो चाय का दुकान, ढाबा वाबा, राशन खाना है, रात को सोना है, कुछ भी है, ऑल द स्कूल आर टीचिंग मैंड्रिन देयर. तो अभी देखिए, वेयर आर वी गोइंग? एक सोसाइटी की अपनी भाषा खत्म करके दूसरी भाषा को आप विलिंगली एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हो.
दूसरी कंट्री की
दूसरी कंट्री की भाषा.
It's not even your region. It's
Yes.
not as if
It's
they're
not even
learning
कि
Balti
आप-
सीख
yes.
रहे हैं या कुछ. No, they are learning
A new
my
language
God.
altogether.
Okay. So you mentioned about the nuclear option. There are people who are saying it's about time that denuclearization of Pakistan should happen. Of course, that's a long-term thing. But a rogue nation like Pakistan, who their leaders just loosely use कि हाँ हम न्यूक्लियर बटन दबा देंगे. लीडर्स बात करते हैं, जर्नलिस्ट बात करते हैं, commentators बात करते हैं, and they hold it like a sword over our heads. Do you think that it is possible to denuclearize Pakistan in the long run, and in the short run, how should we see this?
I'm talking about the leaders. They had a minister called Sheikh Rashid. And he made a statement कि हमारे पास तो पाव पाव के यानी कि 250 ग्राम के और आधे आधे पाव के यानी कि 125 ग्राम के भी न्यूक्लियर बम है. एंड he said वो ऐसी जगह गिराएंगे जहाँ सिर्फ हिंदुओं को मारेंगे, मुसलमानों को नहीं मारेंगे.
And he's a minister. He
And
was
he was a
He
minister.
was a minister of Kashmir Affairs and
Yeah.
Information Broadcasting
Yes.
Minister.
And if this is the level of their IQ, फिर तो हम कम ही बोले तो ठीक है. But having said that, the nuclear threat or the nuclear bogey, Pakistan does not have a declared nuclear policy. His policy is very ambiguous and he keeps threatening कि मैं nuclear bomb चला दूंगा, nuclear bomb चला दूंगा. I will take a little time on this. India has a declared policy. India has a declared policy that we will not use first strike,
No first
no first use, and we will not use a nuclear against a non-nuclear state. But no first use, but on the second strike, we will retaliate with a massive strike with unacceptable damage. Now, why these two words are important? If you look at Pakistan from northeast to southwest, their east-west depth starts from, say, our Punjab, our Rajasthan, or Gujarat, and finishes with their western part of western boundary with Iran of Balochistan. Compare it with our from starting from Gujarat, going right up to
Arunachal.
Arunachal Pradesh. And their north-south, starting from KPK or for this side of Pakistan occupied Kashmir and going down to Sindh or Gwadar. And look at ours, starting from Kashmir, going down to Kanyakumari. I mean, they have in this small little strip, it's called strategic depth. They do not have the strategic depth to absorb our strike. When I say this, they do not have the strategic depth. All their major cities, population centers, 6, 7, 8, they are all within this small little strip of land. Our cities, starting from, say, Jaipur, going or Ahmedabad, going right up to Calcutta and further beyond Guwahati and other things. Our depth is so much, when Pakistan strikes, we will be able to absorb that strike because, of course, there will be damage. But when we go back with a massive strike, which is our declared policy, and unacceptable damage, Pakistan will cease to exist. This is what their leaders are not telling their public. वो पब्लिक भी और उनके यूट्यूबर भी और उनके जर्नलिस्ट भी वो उछल उछल के बोलते हैं हम न्यूक्लियर कर देंगे. दे डोंट रियलाइज कि न्यूक्लियर करने के बाद क्या होगा. न्यूक्लियर करने के बाद जब इंडिया का रिस्पॉन्स आएगा उसको कैसे झेलोगे.
Their thing is कि रिस्पॉन्स ही नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि तबाही हो जाएगी.
मैम इसमें ना व्हेन वी से नो फर्स्ट यूज, लेट मी एम्पलीफाई दिस. इन द सिक्योरिटी establishment, there is also a thinking that no first use does not mean that we will wait for him to strike. Nuclear bombs are not kept at one place. Warhead is kept at other place. The launch projectile is kept at other place so that there is no accident. So when the coupling or mating starts,
How do we know when the coupling?
now our intelligence will know
Okay.
because these are not small things and we know where their things are located.
Okay.
And those places are always under surveillance. Not only India, the world is keeping them under surveillance.
Oh, okay.
So anything moving out or moving in those locations is noticed by all. So when the coupling or mating starts, suppose they pick up a piece, projectile from here and warhead from there, and they bring it to place A, B or C, and now we know that they are in the process of coupling or mating or joining this as a nuclear bomb. And if in the process of joining, it's not for training. It's a live bomb. That is the time we should be very clear that this is the first strike of Pakistan.
Okay.
And we, as far as I believe, we are well within our rights to prevent that first strike
Okay.
for the safety of our citizens. And it is well within the declared policy of ours that we will not do first strike, but we will not allow him also to do the first strike, which he is very much close to doing it.
So what is the possibility of it being a chota bomb, a dirty bomb? What is that?
Tactical bomb, or a lot of people call it by various
पाव by
names.
पाव किलो वाला.
पाव के तो नहीं हो, but anyway, a smaller version of a nuclear bomb. Our policy does not differentiate between
Okay.
the quantity and the quality of the nuclear weapon which is dropped on, nuclear biological chemical weapon which is dropped on our country or our citizens or our forces.
Okay.
And I must amplify this again. A nuclear strike or a tactical nuclear strike or a small bomb on our forces inside Pakistan territory Suppose our forces have captured about 50-100 kilometers of Pakistani territory, and Pakistan says, मैं तो अपनी territory में bomb गिरा रहा हूँ, and it drops a nuclear bomb on our forces inside Pakistani territory. That is the first strike from our side. Anything on our citizens or our forces anywhere is considered strike one by the enemy, and then we are well within our rights to strike as a retaliatory strike, a massive strike, and unacceptable damage. Having said that, nothing stops us from changing our policy in next 5 minutes. Our government just takes a decision that any country who is supporting terrorism in India, this policy does not hold good for that country. We will strike first if required, as long as it's a nuclear state.
But we have a nuclear doctrine, aren't we? We're not signatories to.
No, man, there is no signatory. We are not even signatory with Pakistan. The CTBT and all those things of the past, nobody is. We are not signatory to anything. It is as a responsible nation. As a civilized nation, as a nation with 5,000 years of civilization, we have taken it on ourselves as a responsible country, as a responsible nuclear state, that we will not use nuclear weapons against a non-nuclear state. We will not, no first use even against a nuclear state, but the second use will be massive and unacceptable damage.
So I'm going to come back to the Pahalgam incident. The government admitted that there were failures of certain processes which should have been in place but were not. But now it's 2 weeks and everybody's saying, इतने dense jungles हैं क्या कि छुप गए और अभी तक कुछ पता नहीं है. There was some talk initially कि ये plane चढ़ के श्रीलंका चले गए. Then it was that it's a fake mail. What do you think that they are still in Kashmir? What do you think? Are they still hiding in the forest? Is it possible to hide for weeks on end like this?
Ma'am, since I was there when Pulwama happened, I was a corps commander. And we killed the people who had carried out Pulwama within 100 hours. So a lot of people, question me personally. कि टाइनी अगर उस टाइम पे आपने 100 आवर्स में कर लिया था तो अभी क्या प्रॉब्लम है. एंड मैं विद ऑल द ह्यूमिलिटी एट माई डिस्पोजल एंड humbly I would request or submit, Pulwama and Pahalgam are two different things from the military point of view. Pulwama was a plain area with good visibility. Pulwama was a place where there are a lot of built up areas, lot of population. So information flow is easy. And when people are moving, you can pick up. When people are communicating, you can pick up. Communication picking up was easy. And information, because Pulwama was a hotbed as it is. There are a lot of terrorist movement. There are a lot of informers of the security forces. The intelligence inflow was easy.
Okay.
Because of the continuous oppression, then continuous, ultimately you have to pay for the intelligence. Now, if there is oppression being given by a source every 15 days, 30 days, and you are paying him, he would come back with this information also. So all these things were in favor of the security forces. I can well say, nahi, maine bahut tir mara. No, they are ground realities. Now going in the same sequence, the terrain is not open. There is hardly any built up areas. There is hardly any terrorist movement. There's communication is very poor. Even from Baisaran Valley, the mobile connectivity was very poor. And if you take out these small little valleys, Baisaran Valley, Betab Valley, Adu Valley, small little grazing pastures, the complete area of Pahalgam Baul, all around Pahalgam town, is thick pine forest, with hardly anyone staying inside those forests.
And forests eat up soldiers, कहते हैं.
Yes, ma'am. And the forests and jungles and mountains, they eat up soldiers. And these forests are not normal forests, ma'am. These forests are where civilians generally don't venture into, other than the Shri Amarnath Ji Yatra, and that also along a very well laid out track.
Yeah.
These forests have primary jungle, secondary jungle, and tertiary jungle. And when I say tertiary jungle, undergrowth is about 6 to 8 feet.
Oh.
So if you are walking in a line, I have walked in these jungles as a youngster. If you are walking in a line and you miss the person in front of you by 2 meters, you miss him. You have to shout, "Oye, Ram Singh, thoda ruk, main piche reh gaya."
So this is different from the jungles of Sri Lanka or Dandakaranya
Ma'am,
forest
the jungles,
in Chhattisgarh.
anywhere there is a population around. नेचुरल फिनोमेना होता है कि पॉपुलेशन जाती है जंगल से फायरवुड वगैरह निकाल के लाती है ओवर द सेंचुरीज एंड फायरवुड और निकाल के लाती है, अपने जानवर लेके जाते हैं, जानवर वहाँ पे जो अंडरग्रोथ थोड़ी बहुत नए पौधे निकल भी रहे हैं उनको खा जाते हैं. सो द सरफेस इज क्लियर.
Yeah.
When the surface is clear, only the stem of the tree is visible. So there is a line of sight. Now, where neither the animals have gone in nor the civilians have gone in, and over the decades, the seed falls down, it germinates, it grows again. So that's what I'm talking about. And when there are patches in these jungles, because of the thick canopy of the pine, the patches where sun rays have not touched the ground in centuries. This is the terrain we are talking about. And then there is a gradient. You know, जिसको हम बोलते हैं चढ़ाई है. As we keep climbing up, we are going into high altitude areas.
पर अभी तो समर है,
हाँ,
तो स्नो भी नहीं है.
समर भी, बट पॉइंट ये है कि breathlessness.
तो उनको भी तो
उनको भी
breathlessness
वही मैं कह रहा हूँ. So we don't know if they are there ऊपर हैं कि नीचे हैं. तो searching these jungles, which is hundreds of square kilometers, and most important point, which I talked about Pulwama. In Pulwama, I told you there's built-up areas, there's population, there are sources, there were intelligence flowing. Now in Pahalgam Baul, in last 5, 6, 7 years, there has not been a single terrorist incident.
Okay.
And when there's no terrorist incident for last 6, 7 years, no information has come of terrorist. When no information has come, even the person may be wanting to work as a source with you, अभी कितनी देर तक उसको पैसे देते रहोगे without any worthwhile information. And then people keep changing in the security forces, either transfers or unit change. So the intelligence network there in that bowl had dried up because of no terrorist incident for last 6 years.
So it was virgin territory for those guys to do
and
it.
Today, whatever intelligence you have to gain, you have to acquire it by means. Human intelligence is more or less zero because there is hardly any human in that area.
What about tech, sir? ये जब jungles हैं, now don't we have like heat sensory powers to know कि हाँ human है या animal है?
All these technical things, technical gadgets, may it be a
drone or whatever
drone, or maybe it be from skybound, unless they get a clear line of sight. And because of the tree canopy which I told, the clear line of sight is hardly anything there. Or you have such a big technical gadget which can pierce through the tree cover. Now that separates you. And within the jungles, whatever the vision devices you have, they may be laser bound, they may be infrared, maybe whatever, those devices need a clear line of sight. And now if after 20 meters, 30 meters there is going to be a tree, and that means you can only see with that technical gadget for up to 20 meters.
So आपने कहा था, and there's a quote, this is not an attack that could have been planned by a normal terrorist organization or a front like TRF. This has been planned by the Pakistani military in Pakistan.
Yes.
So tell me, what are the footprints that you saw which led you to believe this?
Now, firstly, TRF, which claimed this attack that same evening, and after 3 days, they said, nahi, galti ho gayi. When the world pressure and the world opinion started, sort of condemning it, then the जो आका थे उन्होंने बोला भी इसको वापस लो. And imagine, I'm a terrorist organization saying, we did an internal audit and found out कि ये हमारा काम नहीं है.
Yeah. वो ChatGPT से उठा के.
And the English was so proper.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, I tweeted, I said, इतनी अच्छी English वही बोल सकता है जिसके बच्चे फॉरेन में पढ़ते हैं या जिसके पिज़्ज़ा फॉरेन में बिकते हैं. So that now
burger वाले.
So I'm now coming back. This point which I'm saying, military precision, selection of objective. They selected a target area which was 30 to 40 minutes walk away from the roadhead. There is no approach by a vehicle. They selected a target area where there is no mobile connectivity or hardly any mobile connectivity, so that the reinforcements or the people who have to first responders cannot get the information early. And they know that even if somebody is sitting at the roadhead and he starts climbing up, he will take 30 to 40 minutes, that Tugdi, that team. So they finished the killing in 20 minutes. They did this attack between 2:30 and 3. And by about 3:15, they cleared this area. Now that means by the time it is last light, they would get 2.5 to 3 hours of walking time, brisk walking time, and they get into their hideout. And the security forces, once they get the information, They will get into a vehicle, they will come to the debusing point, they will walk up that 30-40 minutes, they will come to the crime scene, they will understand what happened, they'll pick up the smell or sniff or whatever, and then they will start chasing them. Hot pursuit.
Hours of
That would mean a
driving.
stagger of 1.5 hour minimum. And this 1.5 hour stagger in those jungles which I just described, by the time our security forces get in, they would go into a hideout and they would be safe there and they would not make any communication. As it is, communication is poor there. So this type of a planning. And another thing, they knew that Baisaran Valley, the tourist season had just started. And now I was there, ma'am, in Kashmir. I returned from Kashmir the previous evening.
Oh.
On Monday. Tuesday this happened. Monday evening at 6:45 I took a flight from Srinagar. I was there with my wife for 4 days. And I was so happy to see everything. I imagine a former corps commander wanted to go to Dal Lake. I could not reach Dal Lake because there's so much of tourist rush and the vehicles. I turned halfway through and came back to the Brahmi cantonment. Now that is the type of prosperity which was happening. And now this military precision, and now they knew that in Baisaran Valley, there are 200, 400, 1,000 tourists at any one time, and there is no security presence. There is no police post. There is not a single person with a weapon. And the tourists are unarmed, innocent, and mostly tourists are Indian. So all this, and now connected with Asim Munir's statement about 5 to 7 days earlier,
Yeah.
where he said, Hindu or Musliman. Then he said, Kashmir is a jugular vein. Now here, they wanted, the jugular vein thing is they wanted to do something in Kashmir so that they feel कि भी ये जो हम बोल रहे हैं कश्मीर में अभी शांति वापस आ रही है, and Kashmir gets back to the center stage or the front page as not a safe place. So they selected Kashmir tourist place. And they coincided it with Vice President of USA's visit to India, our Prime Minister's visit to Saudi Arabia. And then this thing of the Hindu Musliman, they selected the target based on the religion. Never before this type of thing has happened in Kashmir,
Yeah.
other than the Chitti Singhpura. That too also happened when Bill Clinton was in India. Now see the similarities.
Yeah.
Here again, based on the religion, they segregated the people, killed in cold blood the young men in front of their daughters, their sons, their wives, their parents. Now, ये कहाँ की जिहाद है? That's why I'm saying this oppression was carried out with a military precision, which is not the job of TRF. Because I know when I was a corps commander towards the end of 2019, TRF the first time came up as an online organization. It's actually a Lashkar-e-Toiba front. And then they started claiming everything which is happening in the valley. So it's not a ragtag terrorist organization job. It is a military precision job and executed with military precision.
They had those cameras on their...
Yeah, they had the head cameras or the helmet cameras.
Yeah, so they were transmitting live or recording?
Ma'am, they were recording. And those recordings, if at all they are able to get out alive from here, those recordings will emerge as a propaganda material.
Okay.
And one thing that those recordings have still not come out.
They've not come out, yeah.
That means they have not been able to get out of that place as yet. That's a conjecture. So, ma'am, jihad ki main baat kar raha tha. The whole concept of last 35 years is that this Pakistan is carrying out a jihad in Kashmir in support of a Kashmiri. कश्मीरी को लिबरेट करना है, कश्मीरी को आज़ादी दिलानी है, कश्मीरी के हक में बात करनी है. Now this attack is not against tourists. This attack is against poor Kashmiri. जिसका ढाबे से रोटी पकती थी, जिसका रेस्टोरेंट चलता था, जिसका पोनी वाला था, जो टैक्सी वाला था, जो शिकारा वाला था, जो हाउस बोट वाला था, जो ड्राई फ्रूट सेलर था, जो शॉल्स एंड नमदाज एंड गाबाज एंड कारपेट सेलर था, जो फर्नीचर सेलर था, जो पेपर मैशे सेलर था, जो मैम इवन इन 5 स्टार्स एंड जो होटल स्टाफ थे, सब लोकल हैं. उनकी जो रोजी रोटी के ऊपर उनके पेट पे जो टांग मारी है, तो बताइए कैसे कश्मीरी के लिए, कश्मीरी का साथ खड़े हैं, कश्मीरी के सपोर्ट में खड़े हैं.
That's what Umar Abdullah said, not in my name.
Yes.
मेरे नाम पर ये जिहाद कैसे?
कैसे? बिल्कुल.
मेरे नाम पर यानी कि कश्मीरी के नाम पे कैसे ये जिहाद?
And Kashmiris,
कैसे ये अटैक?
Kashmiris have come up on the roads.
Yeah.
Again, this is again a first.
Yeah. First time, yeah.
First time a Kashmiri population en masse have come out on the road against a terrorist act. And they're vocal about it.
Yeah.
They're speaking on camera. And this is the reason today, in total number of terrorists which are there as per the police records or media reports, 80% of them are Pakistani. Pulwama district, which was so notorious for producing terrorists, I was told last 2 years there has not been a
One.
single, or maybe one odd. I was told not a single boy who has picked up a weapon in Pulwama district.
So, but किसी ने तो इनको पनाह दी होगी, ये रोटी कहीं तो खाई होगी ना, कि 2 दिन लगते हैं बॉर्डर से आने में, तो 2 दिनों में ये कहीं तो रुके होंगे, किसी को तो पता होगा कि क्या कर रहे हैं. Even though it was small arms and maybe it was not assembled और बाद में assemble कर लिया, these are things which can be done. अलग अलग बैग में रख दिया and things like that, that can be done. But कहीं तो रुके हैं ये आने से पहले, कुछ तो ग्राउंड सपोर्ट मिला है कहीं तो. It is possible, it is almost certain that some people have given them. वो तो कश्मीरी है ना.
Ma'am, as a military person, I will not say almost certain. I will say it cannot happen without local support. That local support is in terms of guide, who will guide him on to the place whichever the Pakistan military has told them. By Saran Valley, a person coming from Pakistani Punjab or wherever, how would he know कि Baisaran कहाँ पे है? Somebody has guided them, somebody has logistically spotted them. Even if they infiltrated from line of control coming right up to Gulmarg, on foot or in a vehicle, on foot would take minimum 6 to 7, 8 days. Somewhere they would have spent the night, somewhere they would have taken food from terrorist sympathizers, overground workers, the guides who knew exactly, and then escape. This cannot happen without somebody from the local area.
You would think what, 5 people, 10 people, 50 people, approximately कितने लोग compromised हैं इसमें?
It's difficult to give numbers. It's difficult to give numbers. But one thing I can tell you, today the common Kashmiri, the silent majority, they are not interested in this. क्योंकि उनके घर में रोटी पक रही है, उनके घर में जहाँ पहले माँ बच्चे को बोलती थी जहाँ पत्थर फेंक किया 500 रुपये लेके आ, तो रात का खाना पकता था. अभी मैम वही बच्चा बाहर जाता है, किसी ढाबे पे काम करता है, जहाँ अगर पढ़ा लिखा है तो कोई नौकरी करता है, जहाँ गाइड का काम करता है, जैसे हमने बोला पहले, कोई भी काम करता है वो शाम को 1500-2000 रुपये लेके आता है. खास करके टूरिस्ट सीजन में अगर वो टूरिस्ट को 2 बार पोनी में ऊपर नीचे भी ले गया तो उसके 2000 रुपये बन गए. और इज्जत की नौकरी है, कल को शादी करेगा, बच्चों के साथ रहेगा, परिवार के साथ रहेगा. Now, why would that child or that youngster do something illegal and earn only 500 and now he is earning 2000 with legal thing?
But this is a question we've asked in the 90s, we've asked after that also. जब भी terrorism वहाँ पे होता था यही सोचते कि why would you do this? Why would you do? But one had thought, at least after the abrogation, one had thought that normalcy is returned. I guess वहीं पे लापरवाही हुई है.
मैम किसी भी काउंटर टेररिस्ट जो चलता है फेज, it may go on for any number of years. The last 10%, which in the military we call it consolidation phase, that consolidation phase is most difficult. Because the number of terrorists has come down, their movement is less, and they would restrict themselves to the jungle areas. Like if the 80% are Pakistanis, they will never come to the village. Village में एकदम से खबर आती है. So this consolidation phase, the last 10% of the problem, it takes time.
It takes time.
And there is an overlap.
Yeah.
There is an overlap of, politics returning, the economy returning, the education returning, the hospitals, medical, hygiene, sanitation.
So ये politicians जो आजकल TV channels में कह रहे हैं that तबाही हो गई है कश्मीर में, it's a failure, all around failure, political failure, intelligence failure, policing failure, security failure, हर चीज़ को कि कश्मीर is back to what it was. Do you?
Ma'am, इसमें the intelligence failure I will not count because जो intelligence agencies हैं, and we must understand, the viewers must understand, हम किसी terrorist organization के खिलाफ नहीं लड़ रहे हैं. We are fighting a full-fledged country. A country which has an economy, a country which has a military, country which has an ISI. ISI का budget पाकिस्तान नेवी से ज़्यादा है. Now, if that is the type of money they're pumping into these notorious things, and
it's a bigger enemy that we are fighting than what Israel is fighting in Gaza. I mean, the Israelis fighting, they don't have an army on the other side.
Absolutely, ma'am.
It's a terror organization on the other side, or one or two terror organizations. I'm not saying it's less potent, but that is it. Here there are aircraft, there are airstrips, there are tanks, there's weaponry, there's a nuclear warhead.
Yeah, and there is a proper intelligence acquisition system which is available
Yeah.
to any country which has got those assets. And that intelligence is not being used for military purposes alone, is being used for terror operations in Kashmir. So when we are fighting a country, and suppose that country launches 100 such actions, and intelligence agencies are able to, not allow 99 of them to happen.
Yeah.
And one slips through, as the Home Minister also said, and that one being a very serious one, and we are feeling bad about it, that the loss of life has been,
Yeah.
numbers are very, very big numbers. That does not mean that intelligence failure is there. That only means that this is somewhere, one incident has not come to our knowledge, but कल को जब हम काउंटर टेररिस्ट ऑपरेशन होंगे या दूसरे को ऑपरेशन होंगे, वो भी सेम इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज ही हैं
हाँ.
जो वो वाला रिजल्ट्स देंगी. But I would like to put one thing. Yes, security labs, definitely.
Yeah.
A valley like I described earlier, a valley which is away from the main road, where connectivity, mobile connectivity is poor, where the tourists who are coming every day, and next day there are new set of tourists coming, who are innocent and who have no idea, and there's such a thick jungle, which is an escape route.
Yeah.
In that type of a valley,
Vulnerability देखनी चाहिए.
vulnerability study करके, there's not a single policeman there.
Yeah.
Providing security to the populace is the state responsibility.
Yeah.
And if that Vaisaran Valley is being used by the tourist as a tourist place,
It should have been.
I think there should have been
Sanitized in
some
some
police
way. Yeah.
presence there.
Yeah.
There are 4-5 valleys there. One odd police post in each valley
Yeah.
would serve the purpose.
Correct.
And even if you don't want to stay the night there,
Yeah.
no, if they, ma'am, that zip line wala
Yeah.
can put that infrastructure there, if the restaurant chap can put
मैगी
the
वाला वहाँ पे
मैगी
था
वाला
सब,
वहाँ अपना ढाबा
तो फिर
चला रहा है,
एक पुलिस
वो
पोस्ट
उसको
लगाने
तो
नहीं
बेचारा
जाता.
पूरी रात वहाँ रहता है ना, तो why the police is not there?
Yeah, that's
Now,
true.
that's a moot question which I'm sure
There will be people who will
J&K
think
security apparatus, the senior hierarchy, has got very fine officers. I'm very sure they will look into it
and say
and do a rehash of things.
Right. So I want to come to your book, but before that, I want to also show you this picture which got everybody very upset.
Alright.
The trolling which happened to the widow of this serving officer, it got people very upset because she didn't say the exact words that they wanted her to say, and uske baad, I've blurred it all because I don't want to give publicity to the people who have said these things. It was in very poor taste, the trolling that has happened, and I just cannot understand why this was done. Why not let her grieve, and why not let her have her say? She doesn't need to say the exact words that you need to hear. She is not in a mental state where her thoughts are clear as to what she ought to say, and she's a new bride. She's not a Fauji wife in that traditional sense of knowing exactly what to say when tragedy strikes. So could you please guide citizens as to how they should deal with such situations with sensitivity, and why not to be trigger happy on social media?
Ma'am, thank you. You asked this question. Ma'am, before coming to this incident proper, ma'am, we all have daughters, sisters in our families. And they all have their lifestyle. They all have their social media handles and they post all types of photographs. It is their life as long as it is legal in the country and they are not doing any illegal stuff. Now, if somebody has to pick up someone's daughter or sister's social media pictures and use it for trolling and put unsubstantiated allegations, whatever it is, ma'am, I can be friends with anyone.
Yeah.
We are an open society. Now, if somebody is tomorrow wanting to say, KGS Jhillo is friends with so-and-so, that's why he is bad. And that so-and-so is not a criminal, and so-and-so belongs to a particular set of people.
Yeah.
So, मैम, हमारी बेटियां हैं, हमारी बहनें हैं, हमें इस चीज़ का ध्यान रखना चाहिए.
हाँ.
और दूसरी बात, हमें अपनी सभ्यता का ध्यान रखना चाहिए। हम तो वो हैं जो मिट्टी को भी माँ मानते हैं, धरती माता,
Yeah.
और 5000 साल पुरानी सभ्यता, उसके वंशज हैं हम। एंड व्हाट मैसेज आर वी गिविंग? हमारे यहाँ पे देवी देवताएं, देवियों की पूजा होती थी, कंजकें बैठती हैं मैम।
जी जी।
हम उस सोसाइटी का हिस्सा हैं, एंड वी आर stooping to these levels where a young wife who is still grieving, and some media bite says something and she says something which is not aligning with your agenda, and you start trolling her. I was actually hurt.
Yeah.
And मैम, हम तो, हमारी सभ्यता में तो औरत के स्थान ही अलग है।
Correct. Yeah.
यू नो, औरत का स्थान ही अलग है हमारी सभ्यता में, हमारे कल्चर में, हमारी ट्रेडिशंस में। एंड वी ऑफ ऑल द सोसाइटीज, वी
And I expect-
इंडियंस आर डूइंग दिस। इट इज वेरी शेमफुल।
I also expect other women of the forces and other men of the forces too to come in defense of her. Sir, आपने वो किस्सा एक बार सुनाया था पॉडकास्ट में. Instead of asking viewers to go back to that episode, I want you to narrate that episode again when your wife heard that story, that news that of supposedly your demise. But it wasn't your demise at that stage. वो वाला किस्सा ज़रा सुनाइए, and how she reacted to it, especially when she came to know that you haven't passed, and when she said that I'm not going to. वो अब बताइए आप.
मैम, आपने एक लाइन यूज़ की थी कि अभी तो न्यूली मैरिड है, उसने फौजी लाइफ देखी भी नहीं है। शी हैज़ नॉट इवन गॉन टू अ यूनिट।
Yeah.
एंड मेरी नेक्स्ट बुक, उसमें मैंने मैम 2 चैप्टर सिर्फ फैमिली सपोर्ट के ऊपर लिखे हैं। एंड the family, the way a young girl who gets married and goes to the unit, she's herself 23, 25 years of age. And she has to take a decision because एक जवान की वाइफ पूरी पल्टन एक्सरसाइज में गई है। एक जवान की वाइफ is in family way. The fetus has died in her body. And there has to be a operation done to take out the dead fetus. And वो जो लड़की है, जिसके बच्चा है, जिसके पेट में जवान की वाइफ है, वो इस बात को मानने को तैयार नहीं है कि
The child is
ये
dead.
चाइल्ड इज नो मोर। एंड क्या करते हैं डॉक्टर साहब कॉल करते हैं कंपनी कमांडर की वाइफ को। डॉक्टर साहब कॉल करते हैं कंपनी कमांडर की वाइफ को, हु हरसेल्फ इज न्यूली मैरिड एंड नॉट इवन अ मदर। 25 साल की लड़की है, वो जाती है वहाँ पे हॉस्पिटल में, और वो उस जवान की वाइफ को समझाती है, और फिर वही साइन करती है डॉक्यूमेंट्स, बिकॉज जवान और ऑफिसर सभी बाहर एक्सचेंज में गए हैं। वो 25 साल की लड़की वो डॉक्यूमेंट साइन करती है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेती है ऑफ थिंग्स गोइंग रॉन्ग। तो यूनिट में जाने के बाद ना लेडीज़ बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाती हैं। दिस इंसिडेंट हैज़ बीन नरेटेड इन फर्स्ट पर्सन बाय द लेडी जिनके साथ ये बीती थी। मैंने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट किया कि मैं नहीं लिखूंगा, आप अपनी भाषा में लिखिए, आई विल रिप्रोड्यूस इट इन माई बुक।
And you wrote this book before the Pahalgam incident?
Much before Pahalgam. It is coming out in next 10-15 days.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not talking about the book per se. I'm saying जब यूनिट में जाते हैं ना, तो लेडीज में सशक्त हो जाती हैं. They become very strong. Now coming to the point which you made, the incident. Like I served maximum time in Kashmir in all ranks, during all my ranks starting with captain first time 1988. और मेरी वाइफ ने मेरी मौत की खबर 2 बार सुनी है टीवी के ऊपर, और एक बार जब वो 8 महीने की प्रेग्नेंट थी। मैं तब मेजर था नॉर्थ कश्मीर में, लोलाब में, राष्ट्रीय राइफल्स में जॉब, आई वॉज सर्विंग देयर। तो एक न्यूज़ आती है, मेजर KJ सिंह, राष्ट्रीय राइफल्स, लोलाब, किल्ड इन अ टेररिस्ट एनकाउंटर। टीवी के ऊपर टिकर आता है। एंड शी इज़ 8 months प्रेग्नेंट, शी इज स्टेइंग विद अ पेरेंट्स, अपने माँ बाप के घर में रह रही है। अभी देखिए मैम, जो जिम्मेदारी है, बेटा है 5-6 साल का, और पूरी रात जागती रही कि अभी मैं क्या करूँगी, कैसे रहूँगी। लेकिन सुबह उठ के बाहर गए 5 बजे, जाके न्यूज़पेपर लिया और छुपा दिया, क्योंकि न्यूज़पेपर में ये खबर आई थी कि मेरे जो बूढ़े माँ बाप हैं, अगर वो देखेंगे तो उनकी हालत कुछ ठीक नहीं होगी। तो जब तक रिश्तेदार वगैरह या दोस्त नहीं आते कुछ दिन के टाइम तक, तब तक मैं ये खबर अपने पेरेंट्स को नहीं बताऊँगी। नो, ये जिम्मेदारी है। एंड सेकेंड टाइम इज़ इवन मोर, आई वॉज अ कमांडिंग ऑफिसर, जैसे आपको मालूम है फौज में CO साहब होते हैं। He is the ultimate. He is the father figure in the unit. And जब CO says मेरे पीछे move, तो 800, 1000, 1200 जितने भी जवान अफसर्स हैं वो बिना कोई सवाल किए सीओ के पीछे मूव करते हैं। और ये जो मूव है ऐसे नहीं है कि कहीं घूमने जाना है या कोई वॉक के लिए जा रहे हैं, ये मूव है लाइफ एंड डेथ ऑपरेशन में। सो दैट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ अ सीओ कि ही व्हेन ही सेज मेरे पीछे मूव, वो कितनी जिम्मेदारी ले रहा है, कितनी वफादारी निभा रहा है, कितना ईमानदार है अपने काम की तरफ। एंड माई वाइफ, शी इज़ अ सीओज वाइफ, शी वॉज स्टेइंग इन रानीखेत, और वहाँ पे बाकी जवान और ऑफिसर्स की वाइफ्स भी थी। एंड शी गेट्स अ न्यूज़ एट 11 in the night ऑन अ टीवी कि कर्नल KJ सिंह किल्ड इन J&K। और एक 3 साल की बेटी है, 8 साल का बेटा है। पूरी रात मैम बैठ के ये सोचती रही कि अभी मेरी ज़िंदगी कैसे बिताऊंगी। बट हमारे यहाँ पे मैम अगर किसी के साथ ऐसा इंसिडेंट होता है तो इट इज़ ओके कि भी लोग मिलने आते हैं तो आपने अच्छे कपड़े नहीं पहने, आप रो रहे हो, आपके बाल नहीं कंघी हुए, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। दिस इज़ एक्सेप्टेड थिंग इन आ सोसाइटी। लेकिन मेरी वाइफ ने पूरी रात अपने आप को जो जिस तरह से उन्होंने बताई, सुबह 6 बजे उठ के मुँह धोया, बाल कंघी किए और एक डिसेंट ड्रेस पहनी। उन्होंने ऐसा क्यों किया? उन्होंने ऐसा इसलिए किया कि जब जवानों की वाइफ और बाकी ऑफिसर्स की वाइफ या सूबेदार साहब लोगों की वाइफ जब आएंगी मेरे को मिलने, तो उनको ये नहीं लगना चाहिए कि कमांडिंग ऑफिसर की वाइफ इज़ अ शैटर्ड वुमेन। तो ये जिम्मेदारी है मैम कमांडिंग ऑफिसर की वाइफ की, कि उनको लगा कि चलो मेरा तो जो नुकसान है ही है, इनके हस्बैंड्स अभी भी कश्मीर में है, तो उनको ये नहीं लगे कि अगर यार देखिए अभी क्या हालत करके बैठ गई है, वैसे कहते सीओ साहब की वाइफ हो। तो शी लिव्ड दैट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दैट जिम्मेदारी, इवन व्हेन शी वाज श्योर दैट हर हस्बैंड इज नो मोर देयर इन द आर्मी। उनकी मैम यूनिफॉर्म नहीं पहनते, उनको पे नहीं मिलती, उनको कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन जिम्मेदारी निभाना कम्स इन द आर्मी। एंड व्हेन शी वाज आस्क्ड, जब क्लियर हो गया कि आई एम अलाइव, व्हेन शी वाज आस्क्ड कि अभी आपको कैसा लग रहा है क्योंकि आपके हस्बैंड तो जिंदा हैं, हर रिप्लाई वाज किसी ना किसी ने तो खोया है। Someone has lost her son, husband, brother, father. So war is the...
So my husband has come back.
So
but
that doesn't
I
give me
will not-
happiness. मेरा हस्बैंड वापस आ गया, उससे मुझे खुशी नहीं है क्योंकि किसी का तो गया।
It's not a celebration.
It's not a celebration.
But just say, Vaheguru, Shukriya that you know,
that ma'am is
my husband
when
is
the
alive,
thing
but
dawns-
somebody has passed
somebody
away.
else. And ma'am इसलिए ये जो
Does
लोग...
she, when she sees this, does she relive the trauma?
Yes, ma'am,
like
we
this?
discussed this issue. And the first incident, the first photograph when it came of the same lady with her husband's body lying on the ground, and I had tweeted that कि पाकिस्तान को ये पिक्चर हॉन्ट करेगी सदियों तक, क्योंकि if any right thinking Pakistani in Pakistan would look at this photograph and say कि तुम लोग जाहिल हो, ये कोई जिहाद नहीं है।
But it's also, वो ऐसा कौम है जो अपने fallen soldiers को वापस नहीं लेता.
यस मैम, नहीं रहते हैं। कारगिल में हुआ, जब कारगिल युद्ध ख़त्म हो गया तो जब उनके सोल्जर्स जो हिंदुस्तान की धरती पे जो आके मरे, दे डाइड फाइटिंग फॉर द कंट्री। एंड इंडियन आर्मी में, अगेन मेरी बुक में एक चैप्टर है इसके ऊपर, इंडियन आर्मी का ऑनर कोड है, वी हैव फुल रिस्पेक्ट फॉर द डेड एनिमी, वी डू नॉट म्यूटिलेट देयर बॉडीज, वी डू नॉट डू एनीथिंग विद द बॉडी विच इज़ नॉट सपोज टू बी डन। पाकिस्तान ने हमारे सोल्जर्स को म्यूटिलेट किया था कारगिल में, लेकिन जब उनके सोल्जर्स हमारी सरजमी पे मरे हुए पड़े हैं, वी ऑफर्ड कि टेक द मॉर्टल रिमेन्स बैक, उनकी डेड बॉडीज़ को ले लीजिए आप। पाकिस्तान रिफ्यूज्ड टू टेक द डेड बैक। लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल YK जोशी उस टाइम पे कमांडिंग ऑफिसर थे, ऑफिशियरिंग कमांडिंग ऑफिसर 13 जैकरीफ के, उन्होंने पूरे जो भी धर्म के रीति रिवाज होते हैं मौलवी साहब के साथ, उन्होंने उनका बरियल किया। उनकी डेड बॉडीज़ आज भी कारगिल के मैदान में दफनाई हुई हैं, जो पाकिस्तान के सोल्जर्स थे। उनको मैं बाद में वो गैलेंट्री अवार्ड दे रहे हैं, लेकिन एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे बॉडी वापस। मैं जब कोर कमांडर था, कुपवाड़ा सेक्टर में टेररिस्ट इन्फिल्ट्रेट कर रहे थे, 5 डेड बॉडीज लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के ऊपर पड़ी हैं। वी आइडेंटिफाइड द इन्फिल्ट्रेशन, वी फायर्ड, दे गॉट किल्ड। हमने थ्रू DGMO उनको बोला पाकिस्तान को कि आपके बंदे हैं, डेड बॉडीज हैं, आप इनको ले जाइए वापस। They refused to take them back in 2019, 20 years after Kargil war. So nothing has changed. वो डेड बॉडीज को जंगली जानवरों ने खाया। पाकिस्तान के सोल्जर्स भी देख रहे हैं, हम भी देख रहे हैं।
Oh my God.
मैम देखिए वो पाकिस्तान का सोल्जर जो भी सिविलियंस भी हैं उस इलाके में, वो जब देख रहे होंगे कि हमारे देश के जो बशिंदे हैं, जो हमारे सिटीजन्स हैं, और हमारी सरकार उनकी डेड बॉडीज भी वापस नहीं दे रही, उनके परिवार को इतना भी नहीं दे रही कि एक बार आखिरी बार चेहरा देख लें, आखिर अपने रीति रिवाज पूरे कर लें, तो हाउ क्रूअल कैन अ गवर्नमेंट बी?
Beasts.
Beast,
They're not
man.
humans.
This is, and that's why
Inhuman.
they could kill in Pahalgam the way they killed.
Yeah.
जो ऐसी मेंटालिटी वाले लोग हैं मैम, वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. उनमें जो इंसानियत है, उनमें जो माता पिता की दी हुई जो सिखलाई है, जो टीचर्स की सिखलाई है, जो अपने अपने धर्म के हिसाब से जो सिखलाई मिलती है कि ह्यूमैनिटी इज वन, वो नहीं है उनमें. हैवान है वो.
And it's important to say all this, to share all this information, so that common citizens who have not seen this, not experienced this, know the nature of the enemy.
एब्सोल्युटली मैम. एंड मैम ये वो दुश्मन है, ये वो सोसाइटी है जो अपने बच्चों को, लाइक ये सारे बच्चे हैं मैम जो टेररिस्ट बन के आते हैं 15, 25, 23 साल, जो अपने बच्चों के डेड बॉडीज वापस नहीं ले रहे.
Yeah.
हाउ क्रूअल
Yeah.
that person could be, how cruel that dispensation could be.
Yeah. So about your book, could you tell me what the title is and what the book has? What are you discussing in your book?
Ma'am, the first book, as you are aware, the
Yeah.
viewers are aware, kitne Ghazi aaye, kitne Ghazi gaye. That was a life story of a soldier and Kashmir. So after I wrote that book, a lot of people told me, we want to know how you do things in the army. And can we inculcate those ethos, those doing things in our private life? So this book the name is Wafadari, Imandari, Zimmedari. These are 3 pillars, honor code pillars of Indian Army. And everything gets covered in these 3. So Wafadari, Imandari, Zimmedari, war room to boardroom.
Oh, okay.
So military leadership ethos, or in other words, how they do it in the army.
Okay.
So can it be inculcated in the civil life or the corporate life? So book is basically dealing with the anecdotes, real life anecdotes from the military, as in the first book, and certain lessons are coming out of those anecdotes, which are a lifeline for a soldier,
Okay.
and how these can be imbibed in corporate world and make their profits better, or whatever you call it,
And better humans.
and better humans.
Once you're a better human,
Yeah.
you're a more productive person. Right.
Remember, there's a lieutenant colonel with me in Kashmir. He left the army and he joined some private company, and I had bought a TV online. So I was having some installation issues with the service provider. So 6-7 days and nothing happened. So I tweeted, this is not a good service. So this officer gives me a call. मेरी एक मैम आदत है, जिसके साथ मैं नौकरी करता हूँ, फिर मैं I always remain in touch with him.
Okay.
Or her, or anyone I meet. So this officer gives me a message कि sir please give me your order number, I'll do something. तो I thought उसका कोई जान पहचान का होगा, तो ऐसा नहीं यार तू रहने दे. लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल रतुल कपूर, एंड I said तू रहने दे. He said नहीं सर बताओ. तो I said why should you be interested? तो कहता सर I am now after leaving the army I am working for this company
Okay.
which is supposed to provide you this service. So I said are you working in the after sales service department? He said no sir I am working in some other department. Then he comes out with something. He says, sir, फौज ने सिखाया था जहाँ पे भी सर्विस करो, जहाँ पे भी नौकरी करो, यू मस्ट ओन दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. जैसे वो आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है ऐसे काम करो उसमें. कहते नाउ आई एम वर्किंग फॉर दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई मे नॉट बी डीलिंग विद द टॉपिक विच यू आर हैविंग एन इशू विद, बट आई एम नाउ पार्ट ऑफ दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई ओन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, आई टेक ऑनरशिप of whatever this organization does. So I will get the things resolved. Ma'am, the person who was supposed to do it took 7 days and did nothing. This person who is not even responsible for it did it in 30 minutes.
Amazing.
So imagine, this is the subject I'm covering. A soldier brings the value system along with him to the civil
Yeah.
and makes the civil company a better company. And ma'am, here only when I say a soldier, his family, his bache, all those people who are vying for the blood. On the TV every evening we see, ladai kyun nahi ho rahi hai? Why not kinetic actions? Why only non-kinetic measures? War is a very serious business. Like I just narrated that incident of my wife having heard the news of her death. And that disturbed maybe for 12 hours or 18 hours or 15 hours, they stopped the whole life.
Yeah.
Now imagine when there is a war, how many lives are going to be shattered? So governments and militaries have responsibility towards their citizens, towards their soldiers. They cannot take any decision in haste. They do not take and they should not take.
Yeah.
Because मैम जिसके कंधे पे जिम्मेदारी है ना उसको मालूम है. Tomorrow the same people will say, why so many casualties? People talked about this after Kargil.
Yeah.
Why so many casualties?
Yeah. But the same families, the day they are called to action, without hesitation,
Yes, ma'am.
will sacrifice their children's lives, their brother's life, their son's life, their daughter's life, because there are women also in combat. Bina jijak, they will do it.
Yes.
But for that action to be taken, it has to be done with responsibility,
Ma'am,
with zimmedari.
we've seen so many TV visuals when the mortal remains of a soldier
Yeah.
are coming wrapped in a tiranga, and the journalist would ask the father or the wife, कि after feeling proud about him, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि हमारा बच्चा ना स्कूल की टीम में आ जाए, क्लास का मॉनिटर बन जाए, तो वी फील सो प्राउड ऑफ द चाइल्ड.
Yeah.
और यहाँ पे बच्चा है जिसका नाम देश की राजधानी के सेंटर में वॉर मेमोरियल पे लिखा जाएगा. कितने माँ बाप को ये सौभाग्य प्राप्त है कि उनके बच्चे का नाम देश की राजधानी के सेंटर में अंकित है. एंड दैट राइटफुली दैट फादर, दैट वाइफ, दैट मदर, द डॉटर, द सन, दे फीलिंग प्राउड. एंड व्हेन द जर्नलिस्ट आस्क, अच्छा जी अभी आप क्या करेगा, तो दूसरा बेटा है उसको भी फौज में भेजूंगा. जो वाइफ हैं आजकल तो द वीर नारीज, दे ऑल्सो ज्वाइन द आर्मी.
Yeah.
एंड मैम ये जज्बा है ना, ये क्यों है? क्योंकि उनको एहसास है कि जो हमारे कमांडर हैं वो जो भी करेंगे वफादारी, ईमानदारी, जिम्मेदारी, द वर्ड्स विच आर यूजिंग, उससे करेंगे. और जो हमारी जो नेता हैं, जो हमारी गवर्नमेंट है, जो हमारी पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप है, दे विल ऑल्सो एक्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबली.
फिजूल में नहीं कोई
फिजूल में
decision
नहीं. जैसे देखिए पाकिस्तान में मुशर्रफ ने कारगिल किया,
Yeah.
एंड उसके बाद में जो पाकिस्तानी सोल्जर का नुकसान हुआ, जो वर्ल्ड में पाकिस्तान की साख गिरी, वो थी बिना सोचे समझे कार्रवाई.
Foolhardy measures.
Foolhardiness. Our leadership is very mature, our military is very mature, our soldiers are very mature, and we understand the responsibility on our shoulders.
Right.
So ये जो शाम को बैठ के टीवी में बात करते हैं कि अभी तक लड़ाई क्यों नहीं हुई,
हाँ, जरा सोचें.
मेरा उनके लिए सिर्फ इतनी रिक्वेस्ट है कि सर, कॉस्ट ऑफ वॉर नॉट इन डॉलर्स, कॉस्ट ऑफ वॉर्स इन लाइव्स. एक सोल्जर के परिवार में कम से कम 8 से 10 इमीडिएट लोग हैं, फादर, मदर, ब्रदर, सिस्टर, वाइफ, डॉटर, सन. ये एक सोल्जर का लॉस एज अ कमांडर आई नो उन 10 के ऊपर डायरेक्टली इम्पैक्ट करेगा. कल कोई शादी होगी, कल कोई जन्मदिन होगा, कल कोई त्यौहार होगा, कल कोई नया घर बनाएंगे, उस सोल्जर की कमी महसूस की जाएगी. सो डू नॉट बी ब्लड थर्स्टी. You have a responsible government, you have a responsible military, they will take action and they will do everything in the best interest of the nation. Have faith in them.
We look forward to your book, sir. Your earlier book also gave us so much of insight into what happens along our borders, what happens, how you keep our nation safe. Thank you so much, sir, for your service, and wishing you all the best, health, wealth, and happiness.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for watching or listening to this edition of the ANR podcast with Smita Prakash. Do like or subscribe on whichever channel you have seen this or heard this. Namaste. Jai Hind. Click here to watch the previous episodes.